This is the Revv1 DRT from Ride1UP, and this is a Super73Z Adventure, and these two bikes are the exact same price. And today I'm going to be comparing these two to see which one is a better bang for your buck. In our previous video, John Emoto showed us the difference between the DRT and the regular Revv1, and now we're gonna see how this stacks up against a very popular brand and a very popular bike. So let's go.
What's up, Mitchell?
What's up?
So then which one do you want?
All right, I want to start out on the Super 73 to get like a baseline, because I'm actually really excited to ride the Ride1UP.
So which one do you like more? As aesthetic, which one do you think looks best?
I mean, to me, it's pretty obvious, right? I think most people are going to like the Ride1UP more.
I agree.
There's just little touches.
That grate right there.
The grate is nice, yeah. And like this has a much more kind of motorcycle feel, which I think there are some people that will like the kind of more just like e-bike feel of this, right? It's a lot less intimidating. This is a much more intimidating bike to look at.
It's taller. I would say any kid below the age of 12, this might be a bit big for.
If
you're trying to put a younger rider on something, that would be better because it is a lot lower. But yeah, for sure. I mean, I dig the full suspension too, because they're about the same price, right?
Yeah, I think they're almost identical. They're right around that $2,500 mark.
And with this, man, you're getting full suspension, and it's obviously it's not Kawasaki, Yamaha motocross stuff, but it's pretty decent, soft, and it's cushy. And yeah, I like it. Quite tall, so let's go for a ride then.
All right, we got to do the most important test, which is which bike is faster. We're going to go do the, well, I would imagine it would be that one, yes. But let's go test it, and then we'll swap, and we'll see if the weight has any effect on acceleration and speed. But yeah, I have a hunch which one is faster.
All right, let's do it.
Call it.
3, 2, 1, go!
I'm pedaling, I need everything.
I better pedal too. Make sure he doesn't feel too bad about it. There we go.
21.
29, I have some telemetry on here. That way, 34, 35 mile an hour. Well, that was probably the easiest victory ever. I'll admit, man, on a full charge, this thing is pretty quick. It's probably one of the quickest e-mopeds I've ridden so far. However, I did just get the goat bike, which is apparently does about 45 mile an hour.
We saw a Porsche 911 Turbo S the other day when I was driving with my wife, right? And I was to try and explain to her how fast that car is. I was like, that car could accelerate to 100 miles an hour and then come to a dead stop and then accelerate back to 60 in the time it takes our car to get to 60. It kind of feels like one of those situations.
Oh, right. It's just no competition at all. This is so much faster.
It's got a higher top speed. It's faster accelerating.
And this has suspension.
Oh yeah, that too.
I know. It's
and everything else.
All right, let's swap. I'll hop on the losing bike.
One other thing we forgot to mention is the battery size. So the Super 73 has a 480 watt-hour battery, and the Revv1 DRT has a 1040 watt-hour battery, so more than double the capacity, and that's definitely something we saw while we were out riding around. It felt like the DRT only lost a couple battery bars the whole time we would ride, and the Super 73 would be close to dead by the end of the day.
Oh, this time.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
I'm good. Ah! Oh, I'm in the wrong gear. No, come on. It's skipping, and it made my voice crack.
It's a little closer because he's lighter than me, but ultimately.
Come on. This thing is so slow.
Ultimately, it's not much of a competition.
I'm in the maximum setting, full throttle, in gear plus leg power. My skinny little ginger legs doing the best they can. I'm doing a whopping 21 mile an hour.
Hey, that was closer though.
I tried so hard.
Because I'm so fat right now.
Yeah, it's that's so disappointing. That's so disappointing. I own one of these. I paid $3,700 for the Super 73 RX, which is $1,000 more than this. and it's like just as quick. Honestly, Super 73 needs to step up the game, dude, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying they've been getting away with it for a long time, where they just like rely on their brand name for a really long time. You know, just that's what people know is Super 73. And ultimately, when you compare it to anything that, you know, people put a little R&D into, a little bit of effort into, it's not much of a competition.
Really, it isn't.
All right, now we're gonna do the off-road kind of hill climb test. We're gonna kind of put it through its paces and see how it handles just general off-road riding.
Yeah, we're gonna see how much better that is than that off-road. Yeah.
Yeah, you were saying that Super 73 kind of has issues with hills sometimes. I kind of noticed that too. Whenever I ride it, it goes way slower than it should at the price, like up hills and stuff. So we'll see if it can even handle the hills we're about to go on here.
And it's not just our opinion either. You watch many reviews on the Super 73 bikes, they just bomb on the hill test. They really do. And yeah, so I'll take this one. I'll take this one for right now.
Okay,
so,
and then we'll swap
halfway up.
Yeah,
good.
Sounds good.
All right,
Okay.
I'll get the exercise.
All right, so this is where having the rear suspension is going to come in clutch, and also also having more power. These hills are pretty steep, but this should be able to just barely get up the hill, maybe with a little help from pedaling.
All right, here we go, heading uphill. This bike does thankfully have gears, so I'm using them. And this bike also has really huge, thick off-road tires, so it shouldn't be too bad at this. Handling wise, however, power and getting up the hill, this is where I can already tell you this bike is falling apart.
But so the thing is that both of these are marketed as dirt products, right? As off-road products. Like this is obviously the DRT, and that Super 76 or Super 73 is the off-road kind of dirt. They call it the adventure version of I believe like their base model. So it's not like we're comparing a dirt bike to a road bike. We're comparing two products at the same price that are marketed and sold, you know, directed towards the exact same group of people.
It is doing better than I thought it was gonna do, but nowhere near as good as the DRT at all, not even close. So that's full throttle, plus me pedaling, my little spindly legs.
We've been riding these around for a couple days here, and the difference is just so apparent. I mean, you'll see here how far behind Hammy is already. We could swap right here though. See how long it takes him to get here.
I'm gonna have to stand up, aren't I? Get up, stand up for the Super 73. Where the hell is Mitchell? I can't even hear him. Where the hell is Mitchell? He just left me behind. Oh, there he is.
There you go. I wanted to see how much ahead I could get of you in that like just that short period.
Yeah, you probably could have read a book, applied for a job, had a 3-year career, moved on, raised a child. But I tell you what, I will admit that did do better than I thought it was gonna do. But it is on a full charge, and that still did significantly better anyway.
Right.
So,
well, I was saying like I was kind of feeling like, oh, maybe this is unfair, right? You know, these are like two different bikes, but they're not. They're same advertised, price. They're marketed the exact same way as being like your off-road dirt riding style bikes. So like, there's nothing to feel bad about. It's
and then
just
the same price.
And they're the exact same price, exact same price, exact same, you know, marketing directed at the exact same people. One has brand recognition, and the other actually has value for the money.
Yeah, I know. Okay, let's swap over, dude, because right there is the roughest section on this trail.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
So,
so I'm even heavier than you know. I'm obviously heavier than Hammy, so getting the slower bike the heavier rider on the steepest section of this trail.
Okay, this is so much better in every way. What I do love about the DRT compared to the standard Revv1, which was another bike I really liked. My biggest complaint about the standard Revv1 was its suspension, and the DRT is supposed to basically accommodate for that. They put much better suspension, RST brand suspension on here, and you know, it is already way better. It's a lot cushier, front's a lot cushier, rear shock is way cushier, and as you can see, it's making up this hill without too much difficulty. I will pedal along a little bit just to help it out, because after all, this is a fairly steep trail, and this is not a Sur-Ron or a motocross bike. It is an electric moped, but still so much more confident on the inclines, woo, than the Super73. So yeah, great job with the DRT, man.
I'm gonna have to pedal the whole way.
I better go back and look for him. See what he's up to.
Oh man. I mean, I don't mind a little bit of a workout. This is the bike, but I mean, this is a little excessive if you ask me. Okay. Did it without stopping, which is more than I expected.
Right. It did better than I thought it was going to do, but it is on a completely full charge. If you were on half a battery, there's no way in hell that was going to make it up.
Yeah. Oh man. I was saying it's a bike, you know, getting workout is fine, but like, it's a little much. It's a little more of a workout than I wanted.
I agree. Okay, well, shall we do the fun part? Head back down?
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright, well, you are the experienced mountain biker here. So we'll see if you can keep up with me on that. Because one thing I will say about this bike is that it does handle well.
Yeah.
So we'll
yeah,
see
that
how
is
it
fair.
handles on the downhill.
Sounds good.
Alright, shall we?
Try and keep up, yep.
Alright, here we go. Alright, back through the rough stuff. Let's see. Also got much knobbier tires than on the standard Revv1, which is supposed to be way better off-road. Heading down this section, let's pick up a bit more speed. Nice.
So the other thing I noticed with this one versus the Ride1UP, I mean, obviously you have the suspension, but also you get better, in my opinion, at least for dirt riding, better geometry. You're getting a lot more kind of like that motorcycle, even mountain bike type feel. And on the downhill, I feel like I have a lot more, you know, control. It's a lot more natural feeling, to me anyway.
I am enjoying the cushy suspension a lot. Handles bumps very well. Tires aren't too bad either. Definitely not as knobby as, say, like a Sur-Ron's stock tires or anything, but not too bad at all. After all, it's not a mountain bike. It's not a motocross bike, but it is a lot better than the standard Revv1 stock suspension.
This is great on the street. Like Henry was saying, you get a lot of control on the street. You get a little bit shorter wheelbase. You get good, you know, rake angle. I think it's, you know, a great bike for street cruising. But, you know, if you plan on doing any sort of dirt riding, this thing just, you know, can't quite keep up. The thing is this, to me, feels a lot more like a mountain bike going downhill.
It does.
Right? It has a lot more motorcycle-y, mountain biking to, you know, geometry than this. This is great for street cruising, but on the dirt, and especially downhill, you know, because I got to try out this thing with a little bit of downhill before. It's like, yeah, it's a lot different feeling.
a lot more competent at it, for sure.
Yeah.
I agree. Even though it's 73 pounds. I think it's about 73. It doesn't feel that heavy.
That's what I was gonna say. It doesn't feel that heavy. Like, you know, it has weight to it. It's not gonna not have weight to it, but I feel like the suspension is so good that it holds its weight really well.
It does. It feels lighter than it is.
Let's go. You could just absolutely fly on the thing. I mean, not even because you can ride, like, not because it has such great acceleration, you know, not because it has the higher top speed, but just like we were talking about, the suspension and the dimensions, the geometry, so off-road friendly.
All right, back on Super 73Z. Fucking keep up with Mitchell. One thing I will compliment the Super 73 on is the fact that it is a pretty good handling bike. And while I agree that is way better on the downhill, this isn't too bad either. The front end feel on the Super 73s has always been really good, and this bike is no exception to that either. Ugh.
This thing is so fun, man. This makes you want to go out and ride off-road. This is like, it motivates you too.
Yeah.
This is like, yeah, I guess I could go do a dirt trail, but like beyond that, you don't look at that hill and go like, woo, let's go do that. Right, you're like, right. Oh, hope it gets up it.
And by the way, we genuinely like this bike. Actually, you know what I mean? Yeah, they did send it to us for a review, but genuinely, I really like this bike. I think
yeah. No, and I was talking about, you know, we've had it for a couple days now, and so we've had, you know, it sounds like we've kind of already made up our minds already, and that's because we've been riding this. Yeah, this is sure, day 2 of riding this all day. We have a good feel for what we like and dislike about both bikes. So, and I think we're pretty much on the same page with what we like and dislike about each bike.
Right on. Good fun. Hell yeah.
So, as you saw, I was really impressed with the Ride1UP. I think this is amazing value, especially compared to the Super 73. This is a great bike, and there's a lot to like about it, and I understand why Super 73 is so well liked and is so popular, but Ride1UP has done a fantastic job with this bike. They're offering so much for the money, and so I think this is a fantastic purchase. You can find links to both of these bikes down below in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.